Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Asheville. I'm Shawn Gibson. I'm one of the worship associates that's helping put the service together today, and it's really good to see everyone here. We'd like to let you know that whomever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you come from, you are welcome in our space. Our service today is being brought to you by the worship associate team. With us this morning are Jane Bramham, James Cassara, Matt Farris, Laurel Jernigan, Jill Overholt, and of course myself. I also want to lift up our worship associate Deborah Freeman, who had a role in preparing today's worship yet is at home recovering from COVID. As such, I will be presenting Deborah's portion of the service, so let us all send Deborah our best wishes and prayers for her speedy recovery. Our worship this morning has been informed by the newly revised Article 2 of the Unitarian Universalist Association, specifically focusing on the section which speaks to those things that commonly inspire our worship and our wanderings. As Unitarian Universalists, we are inspired by the direct experience of transcending mystery and wonder, experiences which ask us to open our hearts, renew our spirits, and transform our lives. We draw upon and are inspired by sacred, secular, and scientific understandings of the universe that help us make meaning and live into our values. We have found these sources of inspiration to be a source of grounding that sustains us through ordinary, difficult, and joyous times. We respect the histories, contexts, and cultures in which these sources were created and are currently practiced. Grateful for the experience that moves us, aware of our religious ancestries, and enlivened by the diversity that enriches our faith, we are called to ever deepen and expand our wisdom. To that end, the worship associate team this morning will be sharing practices that bring us nourishment in times of joy and sorrow. May these offerings inspire your practice and be a blessing to us all. Let us now prepare for worship with the gift of our opening music.
Good morning. Good morning. I invite Annabelle to come forward to light our chalice this morning. Thank you, Annabelle. And I read from a poem called We Gather to Draw a Wider Circle by Reverend Gretchen Haley. She's one of the many writers in our UU tradition who I value and who inspires me because of their connection and bringing the feminine, the caring, the yin into our wisdom. In a world that feeds on moral outrage, we are here to cultivate moral courage. In a time that prizes picking sides, we gather to draw a wider circle. And in a culture that teaches us to get for what we give and to ask what's in it for me, we come to practice generosity and to remember we are all in this together. In the midst of life's bitterness, we choose to sing, to give thanks, to laugh together, and to be keepers of beauty. To offer a place of belonging for all who come in gladness and in pain. To resist the push to the next moment and the next, and to slow down. To breathe more deeply. To feel a part of something greater. Come, let us worship together. Now please rise in body or spirit as we join in singing hymn number 1018, Come and Go With Me.
Heritage of yes, okay. We are now going to sing our children and youth out, and as we know, they've been exploring banned books this summer, so they will be taking care of that downstairs where they do their religious exploration. We'd like to invite any parents, especially if you're new or visiting with us today, to go with your kids to see where they'll be going for their religious exploration, and so that you can know where to pick them up afterwards. So let's sing them out to their worship.
Good morning, beloved community, including those of you present with us online. I'm delighted to share with you today a prayer that I learned from one of my cherished elders, Ke Kia Bunseki Fukiao. I encourage you to do an internet search on Bunseki Fukiao to learn more about him. He was a traditional teacher and practitioner of Congo culture. He was, in fact, a medicine person, a living embodiment of Bantu Congo wisdom. He was a teacher and healer in the broadest possible sense of the word. Dr. Fukiao was also a leading scholar of African cosmology and author of scores of books and assorted publications. In fact, he was the so-called primary source material for many of the academic brand names specializing in Bantu Congo culture and religion, such as Wyatt McGaffey, Robert Farris Thompson, and C. Daniel Dawson. But my introduction has to be more personal. To me, he was Tata Fukiao, or usually just Fukiao. I came to know him in 1992 through my adoptive grandmother, Kaylin Tutrees, who was among Fukiao's family of practitioners. In that sense, Fukiao was an elder of my elder. He was a key medicine person for my third ritual of time of we becoming, a crossroads ceremony devoted to crying for a vision for the people. When the days-long ceremony concluded and I left my ritual space, he was essential in helping me to interpret my experience. He was truly an interpreter for the interactions and interfaces between this world and the spirit world, a crossroads holy man. Perhaps the profoundest lesson I learned from Fukiao is a simple prayer. Folks in my family of practitioners just call it the Fukiao prayer. I use this short prayer daily. It functions like a sort of skeleton key prayer for my spiritual life. You see, I have a bad case of what I call spiritual amnesia. It's a condition that plagues me. I experience spiritual amnesia as a regular forgetfulness about the fact that I'm a sacred part of the divine ecosystem. Yeah, it's nasty. But daily application of the Fukiao prayer brings me back to health and wellness. It brings me back into the already present flow of abundance and grace. So here is that prayer. I am aware, I understand, and I know the divine presence is in me, and I recognize that I am in the flow of abundance and grace. I'll put that prayer in the breath one more time. I am aware, I understand, and I know the divine presence is in me, and I recognize that I'm in the flow of abundance and grace. For years, I knew the Fukiao prayer, but I didn't use it. See, I thought that my spiritual amnesia made the prayer untrue for me. When I have forgotten, here's what's true about me. I am not aware, I do not understand, and I do not know the divine presence is in me, and I do not recognize that I am in the flow of abundance and grace. What I have learned is that the Fukiao prayer is like so many sacred prayers, affirmations, and inspirations. It is performative. In other words, by practicing the prayer enacts itself. It becomes true through its use. When I say, I am aware, I understand, and I know the divine presence is in me, and I recognize that I'm in the flow of abundance and grace, I become aware. I begin to understand, and I realize that I do know the divine presence is in me, and I begin to recognize that I am in the flow of abundance and grace. It becomes true for me. I think Fukiao would be happy that I've shared this prayer with you, my beloved community. Should you find wisdom in this prayer, I have little slips of paper with the prayer on it on the little ledge on your way out. Take the prayer home with you. Practice making the Fukyao prayer true for you. May it be so. And let us share a moment of silence.
A reading for today, The Invitation by Oriah. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me to know how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals or have shriveled and closed from fear of being of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic. Remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else fades away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself, and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments.
This section is where Deborah's personal inspiration would be inserted, so the words I'm reading are written by Deborah Freeman. My worship practice centers around Buddhism, with meditation and chanting at its center. One of my most inspirational spiritual experiences was on a retreat with my Unity Church about 30 years ago. We were gathered at a ski resort in the summer on the top of a mountain. Everyone stood together in a circle, and there was one person with a guitar in the middle leading us in a chant. The leader encouraged us to keep moving closer and closer together until we were shoulder to shoulder and couldn't move any further. Feeling the vibration of each of our voices together along with the sound of the guitar was just magical. The whole mountainside was devoid of people. It was just our group and a few deer on the hill above us, grazing peacefully. I would like to share this Tina Turner chant with you. And I didn't even know that Tina Turner was Buddhist until I started researching for this service. This is a call and response chant. Tina will say a line, and then we will repeat it back. It begins with the mantra Om and lasts about 4 minutes. There are 3 poster boards here that have the words of the chant, and I will share with them the meaning of the 4 lines of the chant. The first, Sarvashem Svastir Bhavatu. May there be well-being in all. The second, Sarvashem Shantir Bhavatu. May there be fulfillment in all. The third, Sarvashem Purnam Bhavatu. May there be fulfillment in all. And finally, Sarvashem Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness in all. We'll see the video, and we'll be trying to do the chant together.
Just my luck to follow Tina Turner, right? Anyone who has spoken to me for more than a few minutes knows how much I love comic books. They are a huge part of my life. Most of my deep friendships have built around the shared experience of comics. And along with record albums and movies, comic books are an integral part of my cultural DNA. More deeply, they have helped shape my value system, and I am certain that my love of words and pictures led me to my long career as an artist and an art teacher. I owe comics and those who created them a debt I could never fully pay. Comic books showed me that a man could fly, could crawl up walls, and travel to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. That ducks could talk, and a chimp could be a detective. Don't ask. While the comics of my youth were decidedly male-centered, and at the time I wouldn't be caught dead reading a romance title, the comics of today have embraced and led the way into a more inclusive and accepting worldview. Openly gay, non-binary, and trans characters have made their way into mainstream comic books. The variety of cultures and races depicted at every level is reflective of the individuals who create them and of the society in which we live. And talk about female empowerment. The number of female creators, a rarity in the early days of comic books, is heartening. And if the glass ceiling hasn't been shattered, it has deservedly been given more than a few cracks. But what I always loved best about the comics, the ones that I read as a kid, was how at their core, they were all about standing up for the underdog. The bad guys were bad. The good guys, no matter the odds they faced, always triumphed. The stories were simplistic in a noble way, and while the comics of 2024 are often far more nuanced, the ones I enjoy most still stick to that tried and true formula. What can I say? I despise bullies, and when they get put in their place, I can only cheer. So all these years later, the comic books and the things that inspire me haven't changed that much. I can't imagine my life without comic books, and I'm glad I don't have to. Maybe I never grew up, but in doing so means setting aside the joys of my youth. I hope I never do. As I wrote this, I realized how closely the values that comics imparted upon me reflect those that draw me to Unitarian Universalism. My UU family might not all read comic books, although I would certainly encourage you to do so. But this community gives me that same sense of affirmation and of belonging. So if you're interested in what's good in the world of comic books these days, please just ask me. I am more than glad to share.
Don't give up when your heart is weary. Don't give up when your eyes are teary. Don't give up when your voice is trembling. Even when your life needs mending. Don't give up when the hurt is near you. Don't give up when the world seems to be broken. I'm still hoping with my heart open. For a brighter day. Don't give up when your pride is bruised, and don't give up when you fear you're losing. Don't give up in your darkest hour, 'cause you got that power. Don't give up when you feel divided. Don't give up, I'll be by your side unbroken. I'm still hoping with my heart open for a brighter day. If you stay with me, and I will stay with you for a brighter day. Whoa, oh, 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 for a brighter day. Oh, 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 oh. Don't give up, just keep on fighting. Don't give up, just keep on fighting. Don't give up, just keep on fighting. Even when your eyes are crying, don't give up, you just keep on fighting. Don't give up, you just keep on fighting. Even when your eyes are crying. For a brighter day, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 for a brighter day. And if you stay with me, and I will stay with you for a brighter day. Don't give up, you just keep on fighting for a brighter day.
Good morning. From 2005 to 2007, I served as a Peace Corps volunteer in the country of Armenia. Nestled between Turkey and Azerbaijan, Georgia and Iran, this landlocked former Soviet republic is a land of beauty and mystery, where cultures have clashed and intertwined over millennia. Characterized by rugged mountains, enthusiastic hospitality, delicious fruits, and remarkable natural beauty, this small country and its residents lodge themselves in my heart, continually inspiring me in new and unexpected ways. To culminate the 12-week language and cultural training period that began our service, my fellow volunteers and I, aided by our intrepid language and cultural facilitators, put together a program of gratitude for our host families. We were grouped in several small villages, all surrounding a larger city, and each village group was tasked with learning a cultural performance piece in the native language, Armenian. My group learned the famous poem April by Paryur Sevak. While I eventually learned the full poem, today I will share the first stanza, first in Armenian, and then the translation. April, April, ein pes April, vor subhogerd yerpek cheska, ko ave lord zanritsuna. April, April, ein pes April, vor du inkdel yerpek cheskas, ko sepakan manrutsuna. To live, to live, to live in such a way that the holy soil will never feel your unnecessary weight. To live, to live, to live in such a way that you yourself will never feel your unnecessary separateness. These words have stuck with me. Since returning from Peace Corps service, I have been through many life changes and transitions. Yet the importance of connections to others and care for our world, the holy soil, remain animating principles in my life. As a professor of outdoor leadership, I teach students to facilitate connection with one another, with the more than human world, and within themselves. As a mother, I hope that I can foster these ideals, that my daughter never feels her own separateness, and that she learns to walk lightly on this earth. The Armenian people have experienced more than their share of loss, violence, and suffering. The history of this ancient culture is marked by war, genocide, and the building and collapse of empires. Many Armenians have very little in the way of possessions or financial security, and yet generosity and connection are a way of life. I learned patience, the importance of a leisurely cup of coffee before the work begins, and if we don't get to it today, then maybe tomorrow. I learned gratitude for what I have and a way to better discern what is really important in life and what is ultimately a distraction from what matters. I have to keep learning these lessons again and again, of course, but if I dig down deep enough, they are still there, indelibly inscribed in my psyche. Later in the poem, Sevak urges us to have joy with others' joy and to suffer with others' pain, to mix our I with the great we, to become both the lightning and the lightning rod. I'm not a scholar of any kind of poetry, let alone the Armenian variety, but I think this speaks to the contradictions in the world. It reminds me of Whitman's I am large, I contain multitudes. We can be both powerful and soft, kind and astute, connected and self-aware. There is always more to learn, and the perspectives offered by another language and another culture are invaluable. I find that I think about the world in a fundamentally different way when I do it in Armenian, and that inspires me to continue to invest in new experiences and relationships. In fact, in a few short weeks, our family will be welcoming a foreign exchange student from Georgia, Armenia's northern neighbor, and we look forward to embarking on this multicultural exchange alongside all of you, our community, our connectedness. And now, please rise and body your spirit to sing hymn 1024, When the Spirit Says Do.
The call pretty well. So this is the time in our service when we do a little bit of work of the congregation, but first we would like to invite anyone who's joining us today as a visitor to, if you're willing, stand up and tell us your name and where you're visiting from, and we have a microphone that we'll be passing around. We would love to know that you're here so we can come greet you after the service. Right over, okay, right here.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I've visited before. I'm living in Asheville part-time. Just got to walk here, which was fun.
Welcome.
I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm here for my birthday. I'm visiting my stepmom and dad.
Welcome. Happy birthday. All right, right over here.
Hi, Arthur and Ellie Levin from Beaufort, South Carolina. Welcome.
Great, welcome.
Thank you.
And right here.
I'm Michelle from Little River, South Carolina, formerly of the UU Church in Charleston, and I'm here visiting my child who has just moved to Asheville.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm also Caroline. I just moved here from Charleston. This is my first time at Asheville UU, so hi, I'll be coming back, hopefully.
Welcome. Anyone else? Oh, great.
Hi, I'm Joel, and I'm with my family here, with Abby and Loic and Julian over here. And my family, we're from the Seattle area.
Welcome.
Long ways, wow.
Okay, over here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Meredith. I live here in Asheville. This is my second time visiting, and I hope to visit more. Thank you.
Wonderful. Going once, going twice. Did anyone come from farther than Seattle? They're getting the award. Well, I'd like to introduce all of you who are visiting to Trevor right here, who is our Member Connections Coordinator, and he's going to be around after the service, so he is definitely a great person to go meet. He would love to chat with you about our community here, and thanks for all being so brave and introducing yourself. We're so glad you're here. So our announcements run as slides at the beginning of the service, and they're also in the Sunday e-newsletter, which you'll get if you're subscribed to our newsletter, and if you're not, you can do that on our website. But I do want to give a special shout out to an event happening after this service today. We hope you will join the UU Asheville Pride Plus team for the Big Gay Ice Cream Social. You can build your own sundaes and chat with the team about what they have going on here, which is a lot, and I'm sure very robust, and they would love to talk to you about it. So we hope to see you out there. There'll still be coffee as well and all that, so you can even do like a coffee ice cream combo, which I was probably gonna hit myself. So we are going to be collecting an offering now, and we ask for contributions to the church, which is always welcome. We also run a community plate program where we give donations, some of our donations to a local or, in this case, statewide nonprofit that is doing good work that aligns with our values. This month, the recipient is the Poor People's Campaign, which you may have heard of, doing good work actually across the state and beyond. We usually collect on a specified Sunday for that. If you want to specifically donate to the community plate, you can do that by designating on your check, your envelope, or online. Otherwise, donations will go to support the work of this congregation. And we could not do anything without the support, not only monetarily, but time, wisdom, energy, efforts of this group that make it all possible. So we will now collect the offering with a grateful heart. for the gifts of your presence, time, wisdom, and resources. We are truly grateful.
So before we do this next section, I want to give a special shout out to Simon because there has been so many technical aspects of today and he has been more flexible than Plastic Man. So thank you, Simon. On the screen behind me is a QR code and a text code. You can take out your cell phones at this time. And we would like for you to share what inspires you, a few words, a phrase, whatever works best for you. And then we will, as a congregation, collect these all together and share. Where is it that you find inspiration? So take out those phones and share with us, please.
Do you feel inspired? Trying to scan a QR code. All right. Well, as you feel inspired and as you put your words in to our exercise here, I invite you to sing along to this as you feel inspired to do so. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. I'm gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Love my siblings, gonna love you, my siblings. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna love you, my siblings. Down by the riverside, I'm gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Ain't gonna study, whoa, no more. Come on and lay down your burden. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Come on and lay down your burdens. Down by the riverside, gonna study, whoa, no more.
Thank you, Will. We have heard a number of us share where is it that we find inspiration. And I hope that it's given you pause to consider what inspires you. Now is our opportunity to take what we have heard and to translate it into a call for action. What can we take away from today's service that inspires us to build the beloved community that we desire? I plan to further reflect on where I can find inspiration and to build on that. I'm going to consider some more avenues to explore, to travel, to take more hikes, listen more intently, and remain aware that I am not alone in this journey. Go out and find your inspiration. It's waiting for you out there, I promise.
And finally, for our benediction, our good words going forward, we have a poem by John O'Donohue, For a New Beginning. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, This beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Please rise now in body or spirit as we share our special UU Asheville closing song, Longtime Son, after which you're invited to join us in Sandburg Hall outside for the big gay, yummy, yummy ice cream special social time.
Sunshine upon you and all of Part-time study. That's what. Oh, is she saying? That's the one. That's the one. No, no, no.
I wanted to give you a hug for stopping everything and making it go better.
Calling us out.